How's it going, everybody? First, I wanted to give an update on the dog situation. You may have heard during the Peaks and Valleys sermon there was a dog in the background that was in a lot of pain. Turns out it was one of my neighbor's dogs, two long-haired dachshunds, beautiful dogs. They had gotten out and ran across the street, and one had got hit by a truck. So that was what that noise was that you heard. Thankfully, it did survive. Has a bit of a paw injury, but it looks like it's going to make a good recovery. So I just wanted to give that update first for the animal lovers out there. Also, during the Peaks and Valleys sermon, I made a point to say at the end to be professional. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, becoming a professional. And what I mean by professional, I don't mean it in the sense of somebody who gets paid for something they do. What I mean by professional, as far as being a professional, is being the best representation of yourself, because you yourself are a business or a business enterprise or a corporation, much like like a freelance contractor. All of these are like business ideas, and that's how you should look at yourself, as a business, because you are looking to be hired for someone, or you're looking to hire someone. You're looking to be hired from someone, or you're looking to hire someone, and it can be for a number of positions, right? Could be hired as a friend or a lover or a laborer or an employer or an employee or a parent or a designated driver. A lot of things you can be hired for. Now, the thing is, you want to start thinking about using those abilities in different ways. For example, for currency, time is your currency, right? And the product is your effort that you put into something. Your attitude is the cover letter, and your reputation is your resume. All of these encompass the idea of a brand, your brand for your business. And you want to protect that and build it up, because just like you can be hired, you can also be fired or canceled or shunned or ghosted. Sometimes it's not under your control, but most of the time it is. And it's the effort that you put into the position is what determines the amount of money or the reciprocation of love or attention to detail. Whatever service you require, what you put in generally is what you're going to get out. And that's how it should be in a good business type relationship. Now, I guess the main thing I want to make clear is we're all in this business of life, and everyone has a boss, whether it's a parent, child, customers, fans, whatever the case. Usually there's somebody to answer to. So when I say be professional, you want to keep that in mind when you're dealing with people. Because at the end of the day, and this is overall, the people you deal with, if you're in a difficult situation, you want to remember that that person is somebody's mother, father, sister, brother, son, daughter. And you would want your family members, your loved ones, to be treated well, even if they were being difficult in the situation to a degree. I mean, not too far, but you would want the person to be treated with dignity. So just give the same respect. Treat other people with that type of respect that you would want your loved one to be treated with if they were in a difficult situation. So now we've talked about the idea of being a professional. How do we become professional? One point that I missed during a sermon was changing your lens. And what I mean by lens is how you look at things. So, problems, for example. I don't like to say problems, I like to say puzzles. Puzzles are a little easier to digest. So, like math. I can't stand math. I'm not good at math at all. And I really haven't taken the time to learn it, so that's my fault, honestly. But that's not the thing. Math. If someone came to me and said, I have a math problem, I'd probably tune out. I would zone out because, I'm not good at math. But if they said, I have a math puzzle, I'd be a little more interested. I'd be a little more inclined to take a look and see what's going on. Puzzles just sound better than problems. They both require solutions, but again, it's the lens that you look at, and that's going to help you reach that solution better. Because once you reach that solution, you will be smarter or stronger or more experienced from that, and that's going to help you in the future to avoid it. So it's not problems, they're puzzles to solve. Excuse me. The first puzzle that you'll need to solve is establishing your brand. And what I mean by brand is like your style, not just the clothes you wear, but your manner of speaking, how you carry yourself, how you treat other people, how you allow yourself to be treated. All of this is a part of your brand and the standards that you want to set. Once you go from building or identifying the type of brand that you want to be in, you have to then assess yourself, look at the weaknesses that you have, and be honest. What do you need to improve on? And that's not always an easy pill to swallow. What do you need to improve on? Once you identify it, sometimes you need the opinions of others, but if you're being honest with yourself, you really don't need other people's opinions, because you know you, and you know what you're capable of. There is no instruction manual written for Ontario or you, whomever you may be watching this video. We have to write that book ourselves. So you have to be honest with yourself when you're assessing and find out what areas you're weak in, and then build them up. If you need to read more, if you need to enunciate better, if you need to get into better shape or have better interpersonal relationships, be better at having crucial conversations. All of those things are a part of the brand and the reputation, what people can expect if they ever deal with you. So you want to have a good idea of what your weaknesses are and what you're doing to address them. Be patient with yourself, but discipline yourself and hold yourself accountable. That is how you get that confidence. You know what you can do because you've tested yourself. And that's how you get that validation. When you have that self-validation, you really don't need other people's. It's nice to have, but what if you're surrounded by a bunch of haters? You have to be able to know in yourself what you're capable of. And when you get that confidence from that self-validation and assessment and discipline and building good habits and routines, maintaining, once you set those standards, keeping those standards, and then it becomes a habit. Like every time you go into a dark room, first thing you do is you try to look for a switch. You don't look for a switch, but with your hand, you try to go for a switch. And when you're walking out, you usually turn the switch off, especially if you're the one paying the bills in the house. But yes, you build habits like after washing your hands, you want to dry them, or after eating, you want to wash your hands. Just make these habits. At first, they can be a nuisance, but eventually your body gets used to it, and you'll even start to feel a little weird if you don't hit those habits or keep those points that you've established for yourself. So again, the self-validation is where you're going to get the confidence from. And true confidence, you really don't have to tell people what you're capable of. They can see it. They can see how you carry yourself, how you behave, and how consistent you are. They can tell about your integrity. They'll be able to see all these things without you saying it about yourself, because you're going to put it into action, because you have to put yourself out there. That's the only way you're going to get the jobs that you want, or be around the people you want to be around. You have to put yourself out there, or else they won't know you're there. And once you put yourself out there, you have to be ready for those opportunities, because there's really not a lot worse. There's not much worse than being handed an opportunity that you're not ready for. So it's best to be ready for the opportunity and not get it than to get an opportunity and not be ready for it. Because the truth is, I do believe in like law of attraction and stuff like that. If you work for something, you're going to get those opportunities. And again, you have to be ready, because when you're in that spotlight and people are watching, that's like your job interview for future opportunities. So you always want to put your best foot forward, and again, be professional when you're dealing with people. And that's going to be my thoughts today for the week, as far as being professional. So use this knowledge. Hopefully you can use this knowledge to go forth and work on yourself with confidence, knowing that on the other side there is going to be a better you. Now go out there and be amazing.